Hello there, Collective. Welcome to my channel, 5 Mirror Tarot. We're getting ready to start out on another nighttime adventure. This is a nighttime reading, so you get comfortable, you get settled in. We're all in our sweatpants, we're all in our pajamas. You got your robe on, you got something to drink. Now then, this is going to be an interesting one. In the first 8 videos in my playlist, you will find one where we are talking about the Blair Witch. Yes, the Blair Witch Project. And how it kind of describes narcissism in our mass media, coping with mass media. So, of all people, Edgar Allan Poe. For the title, I'm going to pick The Sociopaths Tell. Edgar Allan Poe's The Sociopaths Tell. Now then, during this morning's channeled message, I feel they were showing me ravens. Of course, I have ravens. I have crows. I'm feeding them. They're coming up early in the morning. They're usually down at the Rio Grande Zoo because there's a lot of food laying on the ground at the zoo. But they come up. I've been feeding them. Your narcissist, I discovered, I feel, because it's what they were showing me. I feel your narcissist, my divine masculine, my divine feminine, you switch those energies around. I feel that your narcissist is much like the villainous narrator in a short story by Edgar Allan Poe. It's called The Imp of the Perverse. Now then, this is real darn interesting. The narcissist, your toxic one's latest admission, whatever they've been doing to you, this will help you to see clearly every modus operandi used on you, ever. You just see it coming. Oh, I see a pattern. Oh, I see a bunch of toxic patterns. Let's say nothing, the say nothing, and deny everything ploy. You know, say nothing, that's the silent treatment, and deny everything. They play the victim, they play dumb, they blame twist, they blame everyone else so that they can play the victim for doing horrible things to you and other people, but they're innocent. Well, it's also a humiliation ritual that was going on in the plot of this story, written by Edgar Allan Poe, The Imp of the Perverse. It refers to an actual human phenomenon. Yeah, he picked this up and he was just a writer at the turn of the last century. But it does refer to an actual human phenomenon that Poe described way back when he wrote The Imp of the Perverse. It describes modern-day NPD, modern-day 21st century sociopath experience, the experience of energy, the ambiance of having an overwhelming urge to do negative things that they know they shouldn't, oughtn't to do, especially when their mischief proves detrimental to their own interests. Spoiler alert, at the tail end, the narrator confessed and was held to account. Something that narcissists, well, nobody, I guess, wants to be held to account, but especially a narcissist. So, just like in poker, Poe figured this out. Edgar Allan figured this out. Just like in poker, there is such a thing as a tell. T-E-L-L. Tell. Poe was brilliant. Well, it's proof, almost prophetic, what Poe wrote in this story. It's a little short story. It's narcissism in literature. I do this a lot on my channel. without uploading videos and stuff. I try to keep it entertaining so that your eyes don't glaze over. The Sociopaths Tell. I think that's a good title. The Sociopaths Tell. How your narcissists are like the villain, the nephew in Edgar Allan Poe's The Imp of the Perverse, eventually do have to tell on themselves, is his moral of that story he wrote. It's a short story. It explores human tendency to act against one's own self-interest, personified as an, quote, imp, I-M-P, end quote, imp of perverse impulses. Now then, the way narcissists in the 21st century are like the nephew in this Edgar Allan Poe story. Well, your modern-day narcissist, their latest admission, will reveal your narcissist's MO. That would be modus operandi. That which makes it clear what these patterns are. That you see you are unique. They're unique. Stuff they do to you won't be the same thing another narcissist does to theirs. Got it? They're not cookie cutters like gingerbread men. There's no concern for the target or victim, just like the nephew in Edgar Allan Poe's tale, the narrator. No concern for the target or the victim. He could have cared less about his uncle. No acknowledgement that the harm perpetrated on their target or their victim was traumatizing. Oh, I'm sure his uncle didn't mind shuffling off his mortal coil just so the nephew could get his money, could inherit a fortune. There's no acknowledgement that the crime, moral or literal, were abominable or bad behaviors at all. And Poe captures it perfectly in this story. Now the narcissistic narrator, who has committed the perfect crime, ultimately confesses to the crime due to overwhelming irrational urges, high on his hubris, his arrogance, highlighting a theme wrapped up in self-sabotage is what Poe is trying to get across. No awareness that this narcissistic, relentless badgering in the 21st century is never condoned by any bystanders. No narcissist gets defensive, right? When those around them do not buy into their BS. So the narcissist gets defensive with everybody and lashes out at those who stick up for the victim in real time, just like what happened in the story. And Poe captured a narcissist's dark side in capturing, in a metaphor, the dark side in their human nature in the story. So, bystanders and the victim, we get the narcissist bleeding about their wounded pride, and the narcissist bitches a blue streak, irritated at having to explain the need for their bullying. The relentless badgering in this case in the 21st century. Let's see a show of hands, collective. Well, your narcissist fits the criteria for bullying. They don't see it as bullying. It's constructive criticism, and that's bullshit, isn't it? That's utter bullshit. Poe's narrator says the paradoxical something was a motive, prompting the narcissist to act out on his dastardly fantasy. First he just fantasized about it. Though whose promptings are acted out for reasons for whatever reason, would dictate what he ought not be doing to this victim. Just like in poker. Poe figured this out. It's just like a poker game. The there is this you understood rule, underlying rule, to poker's tells, Tells. More times than not, when your poker player or your player of a narcissist wants to conceal their true dastardly intentions, they will behave in a way that suggests the opposite of what your narcissist actually means. Isn't Edgar Allan Poe brilliant? Just like in a real poker game. Learn Poker Collective, and you'll learn how to read tells. Yeah, I'm not a doctor. Do it, and then leave me a comment and tell me how it worked for you. Poe's story, on its surface, simply frames the argument how the narrator protagonist in the beginning, he's a loving nephew, and then he falls victim to a demonic attachment, referred to by Poe and the narrator as being the imp of the perverse, a satanic, metaphorically, kink inherent in all men. That's his moral lesson he's teaching Mr. Poe. And that's the end quote. Just after he's, punished by corporal punishment, right? Is that what they still call it? Now then, this is the never-ending saga with yours. The saga of stuck in a hole with a shovel, yours. And they just keep digging deeper and deeper, and you keep trying to give him a rope or put a ladder down there when it would have worked. And then, no, I'm going to dig myself deeper in. So the never-ending keeps digging that hole deeper. Now in the plot, for Poe, the narcissistic nephew benefits from his crime. He inherits his deceased uncle's estate. Say nothing. That's the silent treatment in the 21st century. Say nothing and deny everything. Minimize the value of the target's relationship with the nephew. He's so old, he doesn't need all this money. He can't spend all that money. Why does he need it? I need it. So being married, let's say, means they don't value you at all in the marriage, period. You get nothing out of that hollow marriage. It's kind of like a toxic pantomime, a kabuki dance. They claim high moral ground in the 21st century. They do not own or stand on any form of integrity. It's just gaslighting and more toxic pantomimes, more kabuki dances. In Poe's story, the narcissist defines perverseness as a paradoxical sort of vibration or something. Will reveal damaging details about themselves, your narcissist in the 21st century, and they're oblivious that they out themselves constantly. Fortunately for you, you take note of it. They will damage their own credibility while justifying a cavalcade of lie after lie after lie. Now, the narcissist will make it all about himself, about the narcissist. Each slippery slide, every new iteration gets your toxic avenger deeper into a self-made hole. Even with each clarification raises more questions. And all they do is put on great big old sock and shoe and insert it into their mouth. Insert foot into mouth and blame you for it. It's your fault they had to do that to themselves. You are evil. You embarrass them. You were just standing there. Didn't say one word either way. I digress. Now watch how they do time management while sandbagging you. Time to act. Like in poker, you gauge the time that your narcissist takes to act. That reflects their poor decision making in real time while they're getting ready to argue with you and throw you under a bus or something. So in the Imp of the Perverse story, this refers to an actual I'm not a doctor, but this is the truth. Psychological phenomenon that Poe captured. He wasn't a doctor either, but he captured it. And now he's showing up on my YouTube channel in the 21st century talking about narcissism. He described how the narrator's experience was overwhelming. It was an urge to do the thing they know that they shouldn't, even when it proves detrimental to their own interest or their existence. He confessed and he got punished in the Poe story. Now, how does your narcissist today, how do they handle your calm, cool, collected countermeasures used to deflect the gaslighting, the blame twisting, and they spew all of that forth, all that goo onto you, too many lies to count. Attentiveness. Or do they shut down into stonewalling you, or the silent treatment, or the non-listening habit, just to infuriate you? Now then. So weak means strong in poker, and strong means weak in poker. That's a tell. That's tell territory. So when your narcissist now is pitting your own child, for example, or another person, whoever, used to triangulate or gang up on you, right? You'll notice the same betting pattern used in poker. You can use that to figure out your narcissist's body language. If the narcissist and their meat puppet or flying monkeys are consistently whispering or signaling to each other, texting on the computer, on the phone, that's a form of collusion or a setup. In poker, that's called sharing their whole cards. H-O-L-E. Cards. Just like in poker, you keep tabs on your narcissist, just like in poker you would your opponents. They will display their confidence and arrogance or discomfort, just like your poker opponent will. Never ending. Never ending. I want to dig deeper into this hole. Poe describes the narrator's desire to act against one's better judgment, just because one arrogantly can. Let's see a show of hands. You leave me a comment. Yeah, 100,000 times that's happened to you, collective. And they got away with he almost got away with this heinous crime. It drove him mad in Poe's story, though. He would have kept his mouth shut and got away with it. But he went a little cuckoo. Poe's concept, and he's not a doctor, Edgar Allan Poe, neither am I, where Poe described a self-destructive impulse, the chilling part. This is how the narcissists protect themselves. To go to these links is astounding. You've seen them do this bullshit to you 100,000 times, to everybody, for years and years. The narcissist has a firm inability to understand why anyone would care about you being constructively criticized, collective, by your narcissist. Yeah, that's an oxymoron right there, isn't it? Their myopic point of view is stunningly obtuse. Why should anyone care about you, collective? Don't they know that you know the truth in spite of the lies? Most of these lies could be, in my opinion, now I'm not a doctor, fit into their own coping mechanisms that are called in, that are unique to them, to their own cognitive glitches or delusions or whatever. They're human. Humans get those. I know we're on YouTube. I'm not a doctor. There's a need for more and more embellishments or lies, so they must stick to every lie. My pet peeve with my toxic spouse is something called habitual non-listening. I notice my husband has a communication pattern that sucks. It sucks hot patooties is what it sucks. Hot patootie, bless my soul. Poe's got the word perverseness down pat. A third possible motive in his story. The narcissist has confessed to a demise in creating it and calls it a spirit of perverseness, a strong desire and obsession to do something very wrong just because you can and know it's wrong and you do it anyway. I'm doing it. I'm glad I did it. I'm happy I did it. This is them. Now, according to Jung, J-U-N-G, Jung, narcissism is manifested in communication patterns. Go figure that Jung and Edgar Allan Poe got it right. And Jung is a doctor. That does, too, include the most infuriating coping skill used by a toxic or a narcissist is habitual non-listening. All narcissists abuse their crafty gift of schmooze. Mine is hovering me right now for some reason. I know he's up. I'm being hovered and love bombed. He's working his way into thinking, well, he's got another think coming. I'm not falling for it. The narcissistic one must be most inclined to do 2 tons of talking and circular conversations, too, but do little or no listening themselves at all. The know-it-all narcissist knows best, won't let their captive audience, you, get a word in edgewise. They refuse to listen to what others have to say. Their body language shows that they are trying to listen. No, they're not. Not at all. They're not listening on purpose. Well, they can't play the victim or misinterpret how you feel and argue with you. Yeah. The narcissist in the Poe story is teeming with a disposition to cross or vex his rich uncle. There's the untractableness that means in the Poe story. It became permanent when the uncle passed away, so there was no going back for the narrative. He's gone from being the protagonist nephew to being the antagonist. In 1899, crossness of temper. How dare you question how my uncle unalived? He got real defensive. The narcissist thought he deserved that money and that lifestyle, so envy is in there too. The disposition of non-complying. He caused his uncle to perish on purpose because he could. And then his break in the Poe story was the coroner said it was an act of God that took the uncle. It wasn't mischief. He acted in a way in opposition to what was moral and proper. Other family and friends adored that uncle. They desired to have his company for a little while longer. So, heart chakra open and spread out. Oh, expand your heart. Expand your soul, collective. Expand your soul beyond Mother Earth and move through the colors of the universe to fulfillment, to bring light into infinity. I want you to hear the whispers tickle, an intuitive truth in you that informs you, your higher self, to tell you the best way to live your life going forward. Okay, to escape accountability, the narrator's anxiety and guilt causes him to actually strike energetically by lighting the candle. Oh, I know. Spoiler alert. And saying goodnight to the unsuspecting uncle. So look, just like in poker, look what Edgar Allan Poe figured out, just like in poker. Is your narcissist hesitating before responding? That tell means some degree or level of uncertainty about their mind games that they're playing with you in the present tense. Now, Poe nailed that plot point down, just like in poker. Your narcissist's verbal tells are highly situational, and then they will metamorphosize into transactional gotcha attempts to sting you. Got it? To trick you. Your narcissist also explores their own self-destructive tendencies, driven by unseen forces to act against their better judgment. They learn not to go after you. That was a mistake, to go after you, to keep doing this. These tells will be influenced by their personality or a personality disorder. Not just narcissism. It could be, what's the other one? Borderline personality disorder. Antisocial personality disorder is the narrative in the Poe story. He is an antisocial personality, the way he's described, and he carries on. Like in poker, figure out if the tell is unconscious and reliable. Then you can use the tell to protect your sanity by trusting your intuition and protecting your heart and your energy. Physical tells is more about noticing a poker opponent's pattern in the way that they do things after they sit down immediately at the poker table. What do they do? What don't they do? The comfort of entitlement or arrogance in the narcissist means they will strongly attack you, whereas their body language will show discomfort. Usually means that they're insecure. And that means you got them on the ropes, but they can't let you know that you got them over a barrel. The narrative opens his account in the Poe story by commenting upon the mankind perversity of all mankind, and he tells us he committed a crime, and that's how Poe begins the tale. But like in poker, high stakes poker, a narcissist will literally start trembling, or unless they have a medical condition, and I'm not a doctor, this is in my experience with my own toxic spouse, they cannot fake that. They can't fake it till they make it. And if you notice the hand shaking, it's difficult for them to mask or prevent. That's a really great tell. The problem is with shaking hands, it could mean that your poker mate has either a strong or a weak hand, or they're bluffing whatever cards they're holding that hand. Now then, Poe, his character argued how humans underestimate the importance of certain universal impulses. Engaging in high-stakes world of narcissism is not just about understanding probabilities and figuring out a bully's betting on breaking you in half, their strategies. In today's mud wrestling, a toxic big pig analogy, whatever you're facing out there in the big old world, it involves a deep knowledge of human psychology. I'm not a doctor. By having your therapist or your licensed professional teach you how to scrutinize your options when being bullied by a narcissist, so that you and the therapist can keep a keen eye, always turn towards your toxic opponent to better understand their negative behavior, cues and tells, so that you can help yourself. Now then, your narcissist, this is an analogy. The analogy of poker is valid. Poker is all about emotional control. Narcissists have no filter, no emotional control. I'm not a doctor. I'm just stating a fact. Narcissistic rage. Google it. You and other people are used as supply. So a narcissist can force the outside world to validate them. There's no internal validation. I'm not a doctor. But it's true. To regulate their emotions for the narcissist, don't want to regulate their emotions, that's in my opinion, themselves. So they force you to do it daily. Poker is emotional control. That plays a crucial role in the psychology of poker, a game, a card game. In the heat of a poker game, it's so easy to let ego or emotions like frustration, resentment, bitterness, or excitement cloud your judgment. However, in poker, just like you intuitively do with every bully, your cool, calm demeanor, they don't know what to do with that, can significantly improve your decision-making in getting out of an argument with your narcissist. Okay, let me get over there. Is it over here? Oh, look at this spread. This is a beautiful reading. You're going to like this. Let me see if I can do this. My cat, hi there. My cat might come out here and join us. He's in the closet. Only if I have treats. Only if he has temptation treats with catnip in it, I do believe. Now then. I come in here on my channel. I bare my soul to you. I miss people, and I do want to feel connected to the rest of the world, and I want to be connected to soul family unity so that I know what that experience in the here and now feels like. I've had it in the past. Not going to worry about it in the future. I would like to have soul family unity where we can come together and talk about our narcissistic crapola together and figure this out together. I respect the viewers who come here. I do. I love you so much for coming and spending your time with me. And I feel that you need to be seen as a fine human being. Every last one of you. And all three of you, yes. And perhaps you need to be shown a kindness first. First thing as you start your day or whenever you find my channel and you turn it on. They are timeless readings, no matter when you click on and view the entire video so that I can get into the algorithms and get watch time. We need to push past the outside world's noise. So many things keep shifting out there, huh? It's a blur. And then the world itself keeps going to hell in a handbasket lately. A little bit. But we can't keep plugging into that. Lowers your vibration. You stop being balanced, grounded, and centered. I can't tell you what to do. But don't watch the news. It will freak you the F out, man. Come in here and play. I want you to focus on loving. To know and discover more and more about who you truly, really are. I want you to feel deeply about coming here to play like a kid, a little kiddle. Feel like you're 12 years old again. With no worldly cares for now as you come here and spend time with me. Do it. I want to put help out here on YouTube. I want to help people who are tired of way too much narcissism and having to cope with mass media that's out of its gourd. And I don't need to be a doctor to make that statement. I'm talking about mass media is just, it's gone around the bend. There's no substance to it now. It's malarkey. Way too much narcissism, cynicism in the collective, and it needs to change. On this channel, we raise the vibration for the earth. That's why we do this work. We're tied to Mother Earth, and her 5D consciousness needs to be maintained. I want to say a prayer of gratitude to you, the viewer. Thank you. Thank you for everything that you do to help me on this channel. Thank you for showing up for me. I love you for that. Now let's get tapped in. Get your higher self attuned to shift our energy together right now. Focus on your spirit guides. Are you warming up your root chakra? That's what we're supposed to do here every morning. Get it primed. You feel it at the base of your little tailbone. You feel a warmth of energy. That's your spirit team. That's their signature. For each and every one of you is going to be a different signature now. Focus on your spirit guides, your grandmothers, your grandfathers, your ancestors. They are holding you close in their heart space. The intention for all of this, for me, is helping you deal with the topic of narcissism in your world and mine. We can do this. If I can connect or literally help one person, oh, that would be great. That would be a feather in my cap. I do my best to pour out my heart to you by showing up in the world on YouTube to spread unconditional, non-judgmental love vibrationally. We're doing energy work. By fine-honing you, I am attuned to you every morning during my meditation I do. I'm watching over and protecting you. It's what I do. And it's an honor. I get to see your bright lights, your eyes. I see your soul is, to me, in the meditation, I see your bright lights. It's quite appropriate. It's not intrusive. And you are quite protected. I need you to drill down and unpack who you authentically enjoy being in your own skin and being pleased about it. Part of my desire in doing this was to connect with you. I know you guys are out there and I want to connect with you. I know I'm not alone in this 5-dimension paradise. I'd love to be in the 5D and beyond. 7D, 9 and 10, all the way up into infinity. I will continue to use this space as my diary so I can put my truth out. I hope that will help you make sense of this curse called narcissism, a scourge on poor Mother Earth. Now then, this scripture was St. John what now? Oh, hold on. They're getting after me. Get over here. Okay. Okay now. I need a stick. Ooh, I want to feel in it right there. Are you sure? No, it is. It's right there. Are you ready? Make thy face to shine upon thy servant. Save me for thy mercy's sake. Let me not be ashamed, O Lord, but I have called upon thee. Let the wicked be ashamed, and let them be silent in the boneyard. This is Psalm 31:18. Let the lying lips be put to silence, which speak grievous things proudly and contemptuously against the righteous. O how great is thy goodness, which thou hast laid up for them that fear thee, which thou hast wrought for them that trust in thee before the sons of men. Blessed be the Lord, for he hath showed me his marvelous kindness in a strong city. O love the Lord, all ye his saints. That's talking about you, collective. The Lord preserveth the faithful, and plentifully rewardeth the proud doer. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart, all ye that hope in the Lord. Which is, this reading is just fabulous. Wait until we get to it. I'm going to do those first, though. Now, this one is John 2:2. And both Jesus was called and his disciples to the marriage. So this Bible divination portion, before we're going to clarify it using the tarot. Some of you, it's a sacred marriage in your own skin. You're self-loving on yourself, self-care practices. You're doing you, and you're doing a beautiful job. I'm so proud of you. And some of you, this is a twin flame union. For that little sliver of you that are really twin flames. The rest of you are very high functioning soul mates, and you're going to be getting married. Congratulations. Reverse victim. This is when they play the reverse victim on you. They will blame twist the non-narcissistic partner. They will reverse the narrative. They will blame shift to become the only victim now. The entitlement is the blame twisting. It's part of playing the victim. When the wine failed, the mother of Jesus said to Jesus, "They have no wine." And Jesus said to her, "O woman, what have you to do with me? Why are you coming? Why are you coming to me? Because it's a wedding." It means Jesus is the propitiation, for our sins, and not just for the sins of our divine chosen ones, that's you, but also for the sins of the whole wide world. Jesus himself is the sacrifice. The analogy here that actually atones, his energy actually atones for our sins and also for the entire collective consciousness to this day. So from the time that Jesus turned some water into wine, oh, that's funny. And all of the servants said, "He's good. You should go professional." And for your narcissist, they're in the inevitable never-ending victim saga. The reason things in this matter or issue or topic of discussion is not worked out for the narcissist is for reasons. They'll always have a million reasons. Now then, back to the wedding. John will relate the first great sign performed by Jesus to demonstrate his deity by turning plain old water into wine. Only God can just create out of nothing. So John identified 8 miracles in his gospel, signs that give confirmation to who Jesus really is. In this Bible divination, this is you learning who you really are. Be just as authentic, being who you really are as Jesus was back in the day, being who he was. Look what they did to him for being his most authentic self. He signed up for it, didn't he? He knew he was going to have to, so he could ascend so that the Holy Spirit could be bestowed upon us from now on, from that second he ascended. He said that was the most important. Yes, it was very cool that after 3 days he was raised from the dead. He said, that's lovely. But you come over here. Ascension is the most important thing. Now then, in the 21st century, I deprived myself of a true self. So it means that it isn't true, but I will insist on how I simply wasn't born with a set of tools that I needed, and I wasn't. Baby boomers, our parents were children themselves. They didn't have any kind of tools to hand down to us. We were screwed. Nothing was handed down to them, so they didn't know they were supposed to instruct us or tell us. And we all expected it, didn't we? We didn't get it. By the time we grew up and got married, they just had that dull, vacant look, like there was nothing up here. We were on our own. But in the thick of this, it was scary because I was not my true self. And any victim of narcissistic emotional abuse that went through it for a really long time, like decades, will tell you, you're not yourself. Something in you gone. It's gone. I'm not a doctor. That's my experience. What it was is I deprived myself. I had stuffed my true self, my authentic self, suppressed it down, shoved it down so far into the soles of my shoes. See what I did there? Everyone else got the tools, not me though. So that's why everyone else gets connections I don't get. See, that's what I figured it had to be. No. I was looking for validation outside of myself everywhere. When I stopped doing that, things changed. When faced with difficulties, my toxic spouse categorically will only project his emotions onto me and onto others. So as a narcissist, this is them. I have to work things out on my own. So I am playing a victim. They're playing a part, a role. First, the narcissist will deny the behavior. Second, they must attack you. Third, they must attack you. And attack you. You must defend yourself while they attack you. And now, the switcheroo. Then all of a sudden, why are you being so mean to me? Does that resonate? Why are you being mean? Why are you being like this? They're guilting and shaming you for defending yourself and setting boundaries. Your narcissist will flat out deny. They'll say that kissing counts as bona fide cheating. So if you kissed your brother on the cheek at a wedding, you can guarantee in 15 years there will be an argument where you were kissing your brother. That's incest. See, they're trying to piss you off, saying the most inflammatory, obnoxious, abhorrent things that they can to push your buttons. They say your response to pain of knowing that they cheated on you, vocalize how hurt the narcissists are by your unwarranted jealousy. It wasn't just a kiss. They insist that you apologize when they cheat on you. Get that? So, I'm going to say the title is The Sociopaths Tell. Congratulations. It's okay. You called a harsh but necessary judgment on a distorted karmic who betrayed you. But you leveled up after doing the work. You reinforced every facet of your most authentic true self. And you are loving, becoming the real person that you are. Welcome back. If you've never been here before, welcome back. And if you've been here before, if you've never been here before, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm sorry, it's been a long day. And that gosh darn Mercury retrograde and Saturn retrograde. 1-2 punch. Retrograde. What was it? All of these. You looked into the abyss. I can't show. Okay. I can only show you. This is the untossing of a salad card. I can show you her dragonfly wings. The hero, you came in and basically fixed yourself, my divine masculine. I had no idea how far down you were. You were at the tippy top edge here, at the jumping off place. You were so, but something in you clicked. Something in you snapped back from being really, really, an earth angel, you radiate, but there was something that you were not turning loose of. You turned loose of it. You, the fixer, you turned loose of it. And now you're in the, here. I'm going to do it this way. You cannot see the dressing of the salad. But you can see the hero, you can see the dreaming, and the fixer. Let's see if I can do this. Look at you. You were down for the count, sir. And the dreaming, it all had to do around your divine feminine. Now that could be your inner divine feminine. You rescued her. You exalted her. Or this is your divine feminine, sir. You are dreaming the dream because whatever you were condemning yourself, coming down really hard on yourself, you broke that. You broke it. You don't believe that about yourself anymore. Now you've taken your power back. You have your passion back. Look at you. Look at your passion. And now that you're imbalanced with your divine feminine, you're able to take on the devil himself. Now then, the fixer. This is the contrition. You showed true contrition, and you fixed yourself first. If you hadn't done that, and it was messing with your ability to manifest with her quite anything. The Queen of the Hearth and Home. Here, we'll do it this way. The Lady of Sorrows, Antique. Sorry. This would be able for you to have the guts to look into the abyss and make the changes. To really, this is what you look like authentically on the inside is in this card. This was something in you, Tink from Peter Pan. This is something within you that said, are you really going to do this to yourself and mess with your manifestation to culmination skills and struggle like this for the rest of your days? Or are you going to shamelessly stick up for yourself and love yourself in your own skin, where you're taking all of the outside, all the psychic energy that you use in your day-to-day, for years even, Tink says, you call all of that energy back. You bring it into your inner world in order to sustain and nourish your inner world, to keep discovering and expanding on your inner world as to who you really are. And then what's happening is on the inside starts reflecting, welcome to my channel, 5 Mirror Mirror Tarot. You are mirroring what bliss is inside your skin. You're able to manifest in the outside world and what it is you desire and bring those things to you. She's the Queen of Hearth. The Queen of Hearth and Home is you've come home to your own self, accepting who you really are and expanding on that and taking action on these new facets of yourself and being a new identity that's not a false identity. This is who you really are. See, it had to do with the feminine energies. I don't care what your gender is or what you identify as. Whatever your gender is, you had to grieve a version or versions of yourself that just could not manifest because you were leaking your energy all over. Now, sir, I'm talking about you. You've called that energy back to you, taken it into your soul. It was giving your power away. It was taking the blame. A lot of times when you're a child, you just took blame for stuff you didn't even do. A lot of times you were blamed for stuff you didn't do, and you just were quiet about it. So see, that's the part of yourself I'm telling you gave up. You gave that up, and now, oh, you were potent before, don't get me wrong, but because you did this one thing, sir, or miss, you switch those energies around as you need to. But you stood up to yourself and said, what the F is wrong with you? Why are you hanging on to this? Isn't even you. It's never been a part of you. Why do you continue to do this to yourself? And you stopped. You stopped. Completely, you stopped doing it. And it was a beautiful thing. I cried tears of joy at 4 o'clock in the blessed morning because I was so happy. Now then, the singer of figuration. You took that aspect out. You didn't create a vacuum. When it was gone and it was negative, you replaced it with your authentic facets of yourself that you had suppressed. Like laughing. You're so damn serious all the time, like somehow you killed off your, metaphorically, you killed off your own sense of humor at some point. When you were what, 16? You became real serious? You don't need to do that anymore. You're not 16. You need to collapse. That is a part of yourself that was false. It was not you. It was something that you created. Outdated, outmoded coping mechanism is all it could be. Bright spark. That is you getting your passion. I know you've all been just so wrung out. I know how you feel. I know exactly how you feel. All of our light workers, our earth angels, our chosen ones, are just normal people are wrung out. We're so tired of it. Well, now, being your most authentic self is revamping, refreshing, bringing everything back into balance. And it's not just you in your own skin, it's everyone. This is globally. This is everyone on the whole world is picking up that bright spark. We're all getting our passion back for life that we lost because we've just been numbed out from all this crap since, I'm going to be generous, since in the whole wide world had selected for it was Bush the Younger. Yeah, that's when things started. I don't do politics, but that's energy I'm reading. That's what happened there. We had our spark back as a country on September the 11th. That's the last time we came together as a country, and that's all I'm going to say about America. Now then, you had fears about bullies that you cannot bury. Don't you do it. Instead, here we shine a bold, bright light on how it affects us, and we're transformed. This is our chance to know the complete truth of your own potential. You will never be the victim of your own internal demons either, collective. That's part of it. Part of that was an internal demon you kind of had to exercise. For some of you, not all of you, you just take what resonates and you let go of the rest. We don't leave our inner demons unchecked. We don't leave our inner fears in place to fester. We do not invite a vibration for dis-ease into your mind, and we do not risk corrupting our foundation. We refuse to leave ourselves open to being powerless in the face of adversity and toxicity. When an imbalance happens, you recover. It's an attempt to over-control that's causing the problem. That's what I saw in my meditation. Oh, wait till you see this. Undressing a salad, balanced, grounded, centered, avoiding harsh relationships, doing and achieving the impossible, or you're narcissistic or being impossible towards you. What else is new? Go figure. All of the ingredients in the salad mix come together for a tasty treat. Being able to consume the whole big picture. When part of the collective is juggling events and people and places and things, the balance changes constantly, but you stay balanced. The earth gnome is amused. I can't show you the card, so I'll describe it. The earth gnome is amused and laughing that you make it look easy until the ball is dropped while in juggling. It's not funny until you drop something. Then the audience will laugh because you dropped the ball. But you make it look easy, and occasionally you turn bad luck into fortuitous good luck. You create or double down on creating more order out of chaos. You create balance. Now then, for some of you, you switch the energies around now. Let me get over here. Some of you, someone out there, Miss, it could have been you, you saved energetically. I don't even know if you've met this person. You too, sir. I do not believe I had to draw a Mayo on my world card because we're on YouTube. Mayo, M-A-I-L-O-T, French word maillot, for a one-piece bathing suit, haute couture, comic strip character from the early 70s that looked really good wearing a maillot. Would have been Frank Frazetta's version of a Vampirella. She wore a maillot. So I had to put a maillot on my world card. See if I can do this now. This is you. Coming back, sir, my divine masculine. I thought you were at death's doorstep. You'd given up. You thought you'd... See, I had to put a bathing suit on my card. And this was your calling to do this. Now was the time for this to happen, for you to let go of this, so that you could level up till you let go of whatever the hell that was. You weren't going to be able to level up to a certain degree. You still would have made your rank and got, made through your different paces and passed your tests. But you would have had like a limitation. And somehow you agreed to this. One day you were going to have to let loose of whatever this was. But Miss, you reached out and helped someone. Sir, so did you. You reached out and helped someone. And I don't know if you've met these people yet, because they are earth angels. Got it? That's what the Hierophant card. Hierophant. They were an earth angel. You're going to meet them in the 3D, but you somehow went into a meditation and you flew to whoever this person is. I do believe, is that what you're showing me? Yeah, this person will show up in the 3 dimension. They will show up. You will meet them for real. Could be twin flame, but it can also be a very high octane soulmate. And there's a sacred union there. So I keep getting a twin flame energy. You could be twin flames, but it's an energy. It's a twin flame energy with high octane soulmate. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Okay, now let me get over here. Okay, now, sir, this was you just barely hanging in there like, what's the point? I give up. You were so depressed and thought that if this is the divine masculine I was talking to a little while back there, it's because you got to believe that your contrition was real, and it worked because it did. You stopped hanging on with all your toes and fingers, grasping desperately. No, the more you did that with your divine feminine, she slipped through your fingers, and you made yourself open your hand up and let her just kind of lay there of her own accord and let her figure some of this stuff out. That's over the last 4 or 5 days behind you were just relax. See, everything's settling in. This is the transfiguration that's happening. You did contrition, and you cut this part of yourself out. It's gone. And you replaced it with your most authentic facets of yourself that you've forgotten that you were like this. This is you being stable and balanced, not that you aren't. but stable and balanced back in your authentic, in your own skin first. You're okay in here. Everything in the outside world will start to fit into place. That's what crosses your situation. Woo! Okay. Basis of the situation. You got out of your own way. You got out of your own way. You released it. Hold on now. Temperance. Everything's in alignment. Now this is you standing alone in your most authentic true self. Do you see these down here? These are aspects of who you are that you hid. These are beautiful talents. This is beautiful energy. As I've been, someone told you these are your gifts. It could be clairaudient, clairsentient, clairvoyant. Someone convinced you that that was evil, that these were not gifts, that these were a curse or something, because they wanted they wanted your love, they wanted your destiny, they wanted everything that you have when they could go out and get everything themselves on their own. But they wanted that, of course, but they wanted everything that you had too. Not anymore. This is you standing single, again, in your own skin, comfortable with these talents, skill sets, things that you forgot you knew how to do are in alignment. Okay. These two, and there goes. Isn't it funny how gravity works? The Knight of Cups would clarify you just hanging on by the, look at that offer of love and self-care. And you released whatever this was. You loved yourself enough to do this work. You did it. I'm so proud of you. And stay there. Why isn't it? Oh, okay. Crowns. What crowns you is you're still learning what those 9 things are. Crowns you definitely in the future. More things coming into alignment, more parts of yourself that you claim. It's definitely the future. Place of your fear. You don't have any fear. This is you knowing yourself, being ever so stable on all levels. Closing down. When you close that down and you cut that out, you opened up a brand new world. Okay. This is in the here and now. Oh, 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 oh. See, you balanced out your male and your female. Ooh, here they all come down. See how the Spirit's playing with me. That's my angels. Isn't that cool? How gravity works that way. Funny how it works that way, Kim. Shoot. Oh, no, I dropped my sage. Dang it, I dropped my sage. This is God's truth. This is you shamelessly loving yourself, communicating in your inner world with yourself and your higher self, working together. And it's not a hardship. Spying on yourself to get things done and taking action to do it. Being able to stand your ground effectively, efficiently, and moving forward in ways that, boy, you were doing pretty good before you thought, but it was kind of slow, like molasses in January. And it kept leading to you kept coming up where you couldn't manifest effectively. Yeah. You couldn't manifest effectively, and now you can. It can take a tiny bit of time for you to get used to it. It's funny, anytime I want something, bam, it's there. It comes in, bam, it's there. So, okay, we'll do it this way. Ooh, there's a lot of sage on the floor. Better that way. There you are. Your light inside of you. You've reclaimed your power. You took your power back from yourself, something that you were holding yourself back. You can see it. Now here's that twin flame. Two of Cups. You will meet this person. Now then, Knight of Cups, offer of love for yourself. You tore out of yourself what? Any person, place, or thing you got rid of in the outside world. You cut cords. But on the inside, you tore this thing out. It was going to stand in your way forever. You might have had to come back and face it in the next lifetime. I'm proud of you for, and see, you got your everything in order. And I also had to put a Speedo, because we're on the YouTube. I know I had, you made a good decision in you doing this. See, I had to put Speedos on everybody in little bathing suits. I'm so proud of you, Collective. Now we had the Hierophant to start this reading. And here's the High Priestess. That is you helping another earth angel that was probably going to bite the big one. Do you hear me? Or, sir, you were so convinced that your contrition to your real woman and beloved wasn't going to be good enough. That was that thing inside of you, that little inner demon. You had to exercise it. You had to. It wasn't you. It wasn't you. It wasn't for you. It wasn't meant to be part of you. But you agreed to keep it in your soul contract. You knew it was going to be bedeviling, and you did it. I'm so proud of you. Well, let's take a look. For me, that's pretty good. I do appreciate you, Collective. I thank you so much for everything you do to help me grow this channel. I know we're wee, tiny, and small, but we'll do it. Now, don't you force anything that doesn't fit into your world. What I was telling you, if it resonates, you keep it. Food for thought. And if it doesn't, you let it go to the people who need it. On my channel, you'll find a lot of people. Not you I'm talking about. It's someone in your energy. Share my videos. So, if you like the energy on my channel, you really should subscribe. I know you want to. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the notification bell. Share my videos. And on that note, you go out there and you have a really great day.